It was another busy day at Walktopia Detective Agency when the always vigilant Detective Walker received an urgent call. Walktopia Detective Agency, this is Detective Walker.
Oh, Mr. Walker, I'm so glad you answered. You see, I have so many problems and no solutions.
Okay, all right, slow down. First of all, it's Detective Walker. Second of all, take a deep breath, relax, and why don't you tell me the start of all your problems?
Okay, well, you see, it's allowance time in our house, and our children have been so busy doing chores all week, and they're just the perfect little angels, and they've been working so hard, and, excuse me, did you just roll your eyes?
Wait, how did you know? Never mind, keep going.
Well, I have $126 to split between the four of them for all the hard work they did. But the only problem is I don't know how much to give each one to make sure that they get an equal amount. Can you help me?
So let me get this straight. You have $126 that you need to give out for allowance for your children doing chores. And you have four of them that you need to divide among evenly. Okay? And you want to make sure they all get the same amount, right?
Yes, that's it. Please help.
Well, it does sound to me like math has become a real chore. But our agency would be more than happy to help you with this, ma'am. And don't worry, we'll have your math woes solved in no time. Well, as far as problems go, this was a real piece of work. It was going to take me a lot of thinking power to figure this one out. So I got out my trusty notebook and got to work. So I decided to reread the notes that I had taken during my phone call with Miss Fry. And as far as melon scratchers go, this was a honeydoodle. So reading the notes, I had written that Mrs. Fry needed to distribute $126 equally among her four kids. How much money did each child receive? So what came to mind after reading this was to go ahead and draw myself a tape diagram. I started by drawing a rectangle representing Miss Fry's money. And I knew that she had $126 in total, so I drew my bracket to represent that. But what was next? What was my next important piece of information? Well, according to her notes, she had four children that she needed to distribute that money between. So I would look at her whole amount of money and split it into four equal parts, each part representing one of her children. We didn't know exactly how much each child was going to get yet, did we? And that's exactly what we needed to find out. How much money did each child receive? Not all of them together. We needed to know each. That was a key word. So I drew a question mark into one of the boxes to represent the amount that we didn't know, the amount that one child would receive, because we're talking about each child. So we would know that these four parts in total, these four units, would be equal to $126. So to find out the value of one unit, we would have to divide that 126 by 4. So I decided to get myself a nice clean sheet of paper for this part. So here we have 126. We're going to divide that by 4. So the first thing I want to look at is I actually want to write some notes to myself about the steps of division. The dirty monkeys smell bad. And I want to see how many times can we divide 1 into groups of 4. And we can't. 4 can't go into 1 at all. So 4 times 0 would give me 0. I'm going to subtract those two and get 1. And those are the steps that I just took there. Now I'm going to bring down my 2, which is my final step, and how many times now can 4 go into 12? How many times can we divide that? And that would be 3. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 minus 12 would give us 0. Now I need to bring down my 6 and find out about dividing 6 by 4. If I divide 6 by 4, I'll get 1 in each group. And 4 times 1 would give me 4, subtract, and I'm left with 2. Now what do I do with that 2? There's a lot of questions surrounding that 2. Could I tack it on the end and say that it's $31.02? $31.20? Well, let's see. If I multiplied 31 0.2 by 4, which is for each of the kids, that should get me back up to my total of 126. When I do that, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. So that gives us 124. But we're looking for 126, so we know that's not going to be it. So what do we do with this 2? I remember I can add a decimal and I can keep dividing as much as I need to. I can add a 0 after the decimal, I can bring down the 0, and now 4 can go into 20 5 times. That's right. 4 times 5 is 20. Now I can subtract. That will give me 0, and I have no remainder left anymore. Meaning that my answer now for each child is going to be 31.50 or $31.50 or 31 5/10, however you want to say it. And I can check that by doing 31.50 times 4, because if we remember, we had 4 kids, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we give them each $31.50, that should add back up to $126. And because I have 2 spaces after my decimal here, I'm going to make sure I have 2 after here, and there we go, $126. So now we can call Miss Fry back and let her know how much she needs to give each of her kids, and maybe ask for a little bit ourselves.
And so the elephant says, "No, that's my peanut." Right. I'm glad that Walktopia Detective Agency can help you solve your allowance problems, ma'am. As you can see, you just give each child $31.50, and everything should be solved.
Thanks, Mr. Walker. You're the greatest.
I get that a lot. Don't mention it.
Well, after helping Miss Fry solve her allowance problems, nothing sounded better than a detective-sized nap to cap off the day. But when you're this good at detective work,
Walktopia Detective Agency, this is Detective Walker.
rest never comes easy.